Another review Life is Chesty for Beyond the Gates, July 18, 2025. First things first, let me know y'all thoughts on today's new episode down below. What did y'all think? How did y'all feel about Nicole's reaction? Did y'all expect her to react that way? Do y'all think she's overreacting? Should she be grateful that they tried to help her son in the first place? I will say, what did she say? She said something, and I was like, nobody told him to do what he did. I understand he was protecting his grandpa, but at the same time, it's like she made it seem like they told him to pick up the doggone thing and beat the mess out these folks. Let me see. What did she say? Let me see. I don't know if I wrote it down. I think that I did. Let me try to find it. But yeah, I was like, okay. I said, I see both sides. Y'all already know that. I understand. I knew she was gonna be mad, especially with the fact that everybody keep lying to her. Everybody keep lying to her, so of course she gonna be upset. Then it's about her son. Y'all not gonna tell her about her child. Everybody and they daddy know, except her. Ted did go over there to tell, but he didn't do it. He failed his mission, and they didn't even show him dropping off Leslie. They skipped over that part, and it was something else they skipped over. But yeah, on today's episode, we're gonna start with Nicole, Martin, Vernon, and Anita. So Nicole came over there because she wanted to know what was going on, and everybody beating around the doggone bush. Martin ends up saying how he would like to tell her what's going on, but right now he's just too drained or whatever. So that's when Anita says, he could go with Vernon or whatever. He said, I think he said something about he didn't have nothing to eat. So that's when they end up going to the country club or whatever. Hold on. Yeah, they end up going to the country club or whatever. But Nicole was highly upset. Nicole was highly upset. And what did Anita say? Anita just was beating around the bush and stuff. I was like, girl, get on with it, lady. I said, please just tell her. I said, she beating around the bush. And Nicole was like, just tell me what's going on. She assumed that it was about Smitty and Martin marriage. And she was like, so it's not about that or whatever. So she finally ends up telling them or whatever, telling Nicole what went down, and she got upset. She got upset because they did not tell her. She felt like they thought that she was like this delicate flower or something. They trying to protect her. And Nita was like, no, it's not like that. She was like, did you hear anything I said? Did you hear anything I said about what happened? And she didn't pay that no mind. She was like, yeah, I heard what you said, but y'all wasn't doing this to protect Martin. Y'all was doing it to protect yourselves. And how do y'all feel about that? How do y'all feel about her reaction? Once again, I said I understand how she feel, but at the same time, it's more than likely because of everything that happened with Ted. And look like she asking him for, I ain't gonna say she asking him for a divorce, but that's what it looked like. That's what it looked like, because she's saying, so you understand why this has to happen next or whatever. And I was like, they finna get a divorce. You should have told her why you had the chance. You should have told her why you had the chance. All these people be having every opportunity to be honest, and they still choose to lie. Then when they see people react to the lie or whatever, they be like, oh, they be acting shocked. You can't be shocked. You had every opportunity to tell this lady. They don't sit up here and got Joey involved. I said, y'all done messed up now. He crazy. He's a dangerous person. Why would y'all get him involved? Like, I get it because he know how to hide the bodies, literally. Literally. But at the same time, it's like, Martin was right. I think that he gonna try to blackmail. Well, I was gonna say he's gonna try to blackmail, but now, based on the promo for next week's episode, it look like everybody finding out. Chelsea's supposed to be talking to Bill. Nicole's supposed to be talking to Bill, confronting him on next week's episode. Who else? Who else? Nicole gonna be talking to Ted. Everybody. What else did they show? Tomas and Eva supposed to be kissing, y'all. I said, I knew it. She told her what she was going to do. She told her. And Ted's supposed to be reassuring Kat that, no, she ain't going to go after Tomas or nothing like, shoot. She already wanted him. Then you did what you did. I said, if that was the case, she could have just went to Ted and told the truth and then told Tomas what she did. Then told Tomas. I was like, get him the legit way. You ain't got to go behind her back or do nothing dirty or whatever, because he going to be upset down the line at you, too. But yeah, I say you done messed up now, Kat. She over here kissing your dude. But yeah, let's see. Like I said, Anita ends up telling Nicole everything that happened. She felt like they didn't trust her because she was a delicate flower. She was like, did it occur to anybody that, that's her profession? She would have been able to help him cope with everything. I said, you know what? She might have did. But at the same time, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. But yeah, she was more upset that they kept the secret. She was more upset because they kept the secret. And like I said, they had every opportunity to tell the truth. 2 years and you ain't said nothing, and that's her child. How would y'all feel? For those people, like, in general, how would y'all feel if somebody told y'all that about y'all child and you didn't know? You didn't know. And then Ted he double in trouble. She already was upset with him. Now she even more upset with him. But yeah, she was like, what y'all did was disgusting, and she was just going off. She was going off. First, I thought Anita was gonna tell her about herself or whatever, because y'all know they be over here like you can't say certain things to your parents and stuff like that, despite you being upset. So I was like, I thought she was gonna say something, but she ended up walking out. Let me make sure I covered everything. Um, I think before they started having the conversation, Anita was saying how she doesn't want Nicole to compare what happened with Ted to the situation with Martin and whatever, but she definitely did. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that he lied and he kept the secret. But yeah, let's see. Nicole said Anita and Vernon put Martin through hell or whatever. And I was like, how do y'all feel about that? Because he the one who did it. Like, he was protecting his granddaddy because they was hitting him in the stomach and everything. But how the... He put himself... Nobody told him to use that thing he had in his hand. What she said that was, a tire iron? Something she called it. I said, no, he's as much to blame as they is. He the one who did it. He the one who did it. Now, Vernon, the one decided to cover it up. He decided to call Malone. Didn't he call Malone first? Cause I think when Anita told the story, she said, did she say they called Bill? She said they called somebody. I forgot. But yeah, I was like, he the one who did it. She was like, y'all put Martin through hell or whatever. No, nobody told him to do that. Nobody told him, but nobody really know what they'll do in that situation though. Until you actually in it, you don't know. You can't really say all the time, I wouldn't do this and I wouldn't do that. What else happened? I think they came back and Martin was just thanking them for having his back and protecting him and stuff like that. And he went upstairs. Um, and that's when Anita and Vernon was talking about Nicole's reaction, about her response to everything that she told her. And she was like, that made her wonder, how do the kids really view her? Really view them as parents or whatever. I said, true that, because she said, what Nicole said, she feels like they was trying to protect their image. What else happened? Elon and Jacob, he not giving up. He not giving up. Oh, that was the other thing. On next week's episode, Naomi looked like she's mad because she was saying, basically that the freaks stick together and all this stuff, and you supposed to be one of us. And I was like, yeah, I think you should know when he arrested Danny how he get down. When he arrested Danny, that should tell you. I mean, I get it because it is his job. Then if he didn't do that, they'll be saying he's showing favoritism or whatever, and he'll be jeopardizing his job. So I was like, look, it's a tough situation to be in. But yeah, I was like, look, all the priests gonna end up getting locked up, ain't it? I was like, look, Jacob always try to sit up here and do what's right and stuff. And Naomi should know that, but she upset at him on next week's episode. I was like, girl, if you don't know by now that he gonna do the right thing, I don't know what to tell you. Then his daddy was over here trying to tell him to back off and stuff, and he still didn't listen. He walked in on him on the phone, asking questions and stuff. Asking questions and stuff. I thought he was about to tell him off. But instead, he was like, yeah, I'm so proud of you and all this other stuff. The type of cop you are or the detective you are. And I was like, Elon, that's not going to work, buddy. That's not going to work. When Jacob realized something ain't right, especially since Smitty don't sit up here and got him involved, then he want to sit up here and be on hush mode now. He went over there. Look, I'm all over the place. He went over there trying to get information to myself. Why you didn't tell me about the press conference or whatever, and just still trying to get information out of Smitty. And Smitty ain't saying nothing. Smitty talk about some he protected by spouse or whatever he said. Basically, you can't testify against them or something like that. And I was like, it's too little, too late, buddy. Nobody told you to go running. They told you to back down. Who was it? Was it Malone that first warned him about throwing stones at glass houses or something like that? Then I think Elon told him. Now you want to sit up here and be on hush mode. You don't invited him over here to help you, and that's exactly what Jacob told him. You the one got me involved. I didn't come to you. You came to me. He told my son, I ain't got nothing to say or whatever. I'm protected. I said, you just answer his question. And that's what Jacob told him. You just answer my question or whatever. So they still supposed to be looking into it. And I was like, Marty might as well came for it because they finding out. Look like Chelsea talking to Bill about the same situation and asking how he could do that. Bill telling Nicole he's the reason why her baby boy was protected, and she's telling him, I'm the fixer now. I said, good luck with that. I said, good luck with that. Y'all got a lot of skeletons in y'all closet. Y'all got a whole lot of skeletons. I called it. I said, they got a lot of skeletons in their closet. You could tell. You can always tell if you watch these shows and stuff. Smitty, I didn't finish with Elon and Jacob. What was he doing? Jacob wanted to know who the guy is in the park or whatever, and that's when Elon was telling him to back off and stuff like that. He was like, don't forget, I'm the chief, I'm the one that's in charge. And he's like, he wasn't trying to overstep. Excuse me. He wasn't trying to overstep or anything like that. He's just trying to pitch in and help. And then he starts talking about his reporter friend Smitty. telling him he need to back off the Malone situation. I was like, they all give themselves away. They definitely give themselves away. What else did he say? That's when I think he left, and after he told him to back off, he still was on the phone asking questions. He walked in and he was listening to Jacob on the phone. So instead of, asking him what he doing and stuff, he was just telling him how good of a cop or detective he is and how proud he is and stuff like that. I said, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. And that's when he went over to Smitty house and telling him he didn't tell him Martin had a press conference. Why was he having a press conference? Just questioning him and stuff. Smitty over here don't want to say nothing. He on hush mode. I said, you don't say it too much as it is. This is your fault. No, I ain't gonna say it's his fault. But yeah, now you want to be on hush mode. You don't sit up here and told everything now. You don't gave him the information. Now you want to be on hush mode. Somebody say you protected by spouse or whatever he said. Then Samantha on the steps listening and stuff. She went upstairs to tell Terrell she think he may be right that Smitty and Martin wasn't telling everything. I skipped over something. Samantha was talking to Smitty. She was asking if he's ever going to let Martin come back home, and he was like, he can't make no promises. He don't know because he lied and stuff. He basically put them in a dangerous situation. He doesn't want to get empty promises to her or whatever. I think at that point, wait, I skipped the part. Samantha tells Smitty they'll get through it, and that's when Jacob came by. And that's when he was mad because he keeping information from him and stuff like that. And after he seen that Smitty wasn't going to answer no more questions, he was like, you answer my question for me. And he left. And I said, yep, he should have known better. They told you you throwing stones and you don't even know you living in the glass house. Look at you. Now you on hush mode. Excuse me. Let me see what else happened. We basically talked about Martin didn't say too much to Nicole. He didn't say nothing. She thought it was about cheating and stuff. He was like, no, he didn't do that. It was something much worse, and he never got the chance to tell her because he was on pause. And then that's when she went to her parents, and Anita said she'll be the one to tell. She ends up telling. She walked out. She got upset and she left. Vernon and Martin was just talking about everything with Smitty. He was saying how he knows that Smitty loves Martin and they'll end up working things out. Martin is convinced that it's over with. He's like, it looked like the end to me. I said, probably so. I don't know. We'll see soon enough, I guess. I don't know. We talked about Smitty and Jacob. We talked about Samantha and Terrell. I think we talked about everything, y'all. Let me scan these notes to make sure. Vernon tells Martin what him and Smitty have is solid, not to give up. Oh, Vernon was apologizing to Martin for what he going through, saying that, he understand everything now. I said, I bet you do. And it's not over with yet. Might as well go and walk your grandson over there. Well, all of them be in trouble, wouldn't he? Unless he just take the rap for everybody. I said, because they covered up murder, right? Wouldn't all of them be implicated? Unless because sometimes they'll take the fall or whatever. Then with him being a congressman, he'll get out. He ain't gonna do no time. Just go and walk in there and turn yourself in, tell what you did, so you could stay in jail for a day or two. 1 or 2 business days. Y'all know it's soap time. That's how it be. Go and walk your tail to the police station. Tell what you did so you could do your time. Do a little weekend in jail, and that's it. Let me see. I think that's everything. Yeah, because sometimes y'all know they add on. One day they 5, next day they 15. I think that's everything, y'all. Let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next video. Until next time, deuces. Have a great rest of the day, a great weekend, and be safe.